Edwards out, Tedesco in. Yes, New South Wales have been flipped on its head with Edwards going down and training on Saturday afternoon after doing his quad. Yes, he said he was going to be able to play within a matter of 24 hours. Boom, not even 24 hours. Tedesco is back for his 23rd straight Origin. Now, can he be the saviour? Will he be the Messiah? Or will he be last game Origin career right here, right now? That is the answer for Tedesco. If he wins the game, he'll probably stay in Origin for the rest of the season, which is hard luck for Dylan Edwards. And he can continue his career as long as they win. But if they lose this game, Edwards is straight back in, is he? That's the question mark you have to answer yourself there at home. I think that is the case. The only way Tedesco stays in this team is he wins. He has to win and then win the series. If he wins the series, then I think they'll continue with Tedesco, even though Edwards deserves a spot. Could Edwards go onto the wing? I don't think so. Not good enough. Not up against the calibre they already have in the system here. But I'm not saying he can't play there, but to me, so it's the biggest game of Tedesco's life going into Wednesday footy. But let's have a look at the New South Wales squad overall, and I'll rip through it all and where I see the weaknesses, the strengths. Definitely a defensive-minded team, but have they got enough razzle-dazzle and attack to get it done in the big moments? That's the question mark on the New South Wales squad. And Queensland squad is fairly predictable. But there was no room for David Fafita. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's rock and roll here. This is your New South Wales Queensland preview for Wednesday Night Football. Okay, yes, first off here. So fullback is James Tedesco. The wings are Brian Toho and Zach Lomax. Was Josh Adokar unlucky not to make the team? Question marks over that. And then you got Stephen Crichton and Joseph Suolihi. No room for Tony Staggs. Brandon Best was injured. No room for Latrell Mitchell as well. How does that work? Is this the team to get it done? Jerome Luai in front of Cody Walker. I mean, on form, yes, you would say so, but Cody Walker did do the damage in the third game of Origin. But has played in Origin before and faltered when it really matters in the big games. Not when it's a dead rubber game. So that's, I can understand when they're going with Luai, but Luai needs to get another level here. Nicho Hynes, great at club level, but just in the big key moments, can he deliver for New South Wales? That is the biggest key. He is the key to the castle. If he has a blinder, they win. Otherwise, they could get absolutely humiliated here. The kicking game is my big concern. And is Moses the better selection? But obviously, him being injured, it was hard to pick him. But you just got to stick with your guns. And Moses was the man. So Moses, Cody Walker would have been definitely in terms of playing experience up there. But Luai has done it before. Nicho Hynes has been very, very much one of the best players for the last couple of years with Edwards. Looking at the forward pack, Jake Trbojevic, captain, probably the biggest shock. Not shock he's in the team, but the shock that he's been given the captaincy. I totally understand why he's been given the captaincy, but is he the right leader to get this team home? We know he's passionate about New South Wales. There's no doubt about that. But does the C against his name going to make much of a difference in terms of on the field at the end? We will see, but no doubt about it, Jake Trbojevic is definitely a passionate captain. You cannot deny that. He will be passionate. So that's what Mitch Maguire's gone with. We'll see how it works out. Reece Robson, the tackling machine, but has he got anything in the attack when it matters? That's a question mark. But then you could argue Appy and Damien Cook have struggled at the top level in New South Wales as well. Even though they're more creative, they can't seem to get it done in the big stages. So Reece Robson, definitely the best defence in a way, but Appy can come up with the big hits as well. But question marks of whether he can. But I think the way they're picking this team is that it's Nicho Hynes' team and Jerome Luai. At times, Reece Robson just gives them the ball, let them do their magic. Payne Haas is pretty much an automatic selection, but he has not gone to the top level in New South Wales. He's been consistent, no doubt about it. He's been consistent, but he needs to go to another level this year. This is his chance to state himself as the best prop in the game. But to be fair, there's a few props not in this fruition, like Tino, for instance. So there's some big guns out of the lineup for Queensland. But anyway, Payne Haas has his chance. Okay, play who's in front of you. Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, and Cameron McGuinness. Well, no doubt about it, he is as gritty as they come, Cameron McGuinness. Is it a bit too late to put him into this arena? Was he better 5 years ago or so? That's the question mark you got to ask yourself here. But no doubt about it, he is Origin type player. He will go hard all day, all night. So potentially he could be a good player. But Isaiah Yeo, interesting. They're not really playing the Penrith style, so I can understand why he's been put on the bench. So Isaiah Yeo, Olakau'atu, Spencer Leniu, and Hudson Young, a 4-forward bench. Is that the answer for New South Wales? Well, I've got big question marks. Nicho Hynes goes down. Who goes where? There's a lot of things here. Luai can go to 7. I think is probably the most likely. But do you put McGuinness at 6? I'm not too sure. I think they're a little more likely to go with like a Crichton or Suolihi into 6. I think one of those two would go into 6. Just be a ball running player. But really, the biggest question mark, will there be a late Swifty and Matt Burton comes into the 17? And I think that is more than likely the case. If it's not, it's a bit of hit or miss for mine. On New South Wales selection, that could be the costly thing. I think if Matt Burton's on the bench, I would say New South Wales are just about raging hot favourites. With the fact they haven't picked them, there's question marks over that. Obviously, Queensland have more stability in their side. They know their games, but sometimes the hunger of a first origin can get you over the line. And obviously, in New South Wales, Queensland have struggled. That's clear to see. Over the years, they have struggled in New South Wales. And really what has helped Queensland of late is that there's no 2 games in New South Wales. Same with Queensland only having 1 game in Queensland as well. But Queensland have seemed to handle the travel game more than New South Wales most of the time. That is where New South Wales have to get better, is on the road. And obviously Luke Keary and Mitch Marnie will back up for injury, and the late inclusion of James Tedesco. So, what does this mean for New South Wales? Can they get it done? Tedesco comes in, you know what you're going to get. Brian Toho, you know what you're going to get. Stephen Crichton, you know what you're going to get. But this other side, are they going to do a switcheroo here and have Suolihi and Crichton swap sides? A potential for that to happen. If that happens, it makes it, for me, a bit more balanced squad here. With the defensive deficiencies in Suolihi and Saclomics, could be a danger on that side. Could be a field day for Queensland there if they go that way. That's my question mark. Yes, so Suolihi and Saclomics are the 2 question marks for me. They can be a bit rocks and diamonds. I mean, Suolihi is more consistent, don't get me wrong there. But Saclomics has been good this season, but his last game was appalling. If he plays like that again, it could be a long night for New South Wales here. Jerome Luai, Nicho Hynes, and Reece Robson. The spine is my biggest concern. It really is for New South Wales fans. It's absolutely the killer here. Reece Robson, Nicho Hynes, Jerome Luai, and Tedesco. To me, if I'm being completely honest, I just do not see the razzle-dazzle. I mean, there is razzle-dazzle, but there is just not that player to me that'll step up at the big stage and get you the win. Tedesco will try, but he'll probably more likely stuff it up for you. Jerome Luai hasn't yet to prove it as much at times. He did do it for Samoa, but Origin is a different kettle of fish to that. And Nicho Hynes has yet to really prove it on the top stage. He's against the battlers, he's done well, but against the top teams, he's struggled. And this is going to be a big question mark for New South Wales. And I think this is where the game is going to be lost if I'm going to put a thing on New South Wales. If they're going to win, it's because they complete 80%. The forwards dominate New South Wales, and Nicho Hynes and they are playing like a club football game. That's how they're going to win. New South Wales are going to win for me. They are going to blow them off the park. I think that's the way New South Wales are going to win this game. If it's a tight, gritty match, I can't see them getting it done. Queensland will have too much experience in the trenches. But Matt Burton to me just should be in the team. It doesn't even have to be Matt Burton, but someone should be on the bench here as cover for the fullback, and the halves in the back line. That would make most sense. And who would you drop? Question mark, who you drop? But it'll be either Olakau'atu or Hudson Young. That would be where I'll be dropping and bringing him in. Spencer Leniu, I know what he's going to do. It's hard to take Olakau'atu out on debut, but who's going to be more effective in the front row, Olakau'atu or Hudson Young? That's my question mark, and I think it'll be Hudson Young. He can cover more positions than Olakawatu from mine. And Spencer Lenu, he's picked to play about 30 minutes. He can play the last 15 minutes of the first half. You can bring him in for the last 15 or in the in-between of the thing to try and boom this game out of the books. That's what he's here for. He's here to be the impact player that can get it done. That's where I think Spencer Leno come in. But he can also be the knife's edge and be sent off. And if he's sent off, good luck for you New South Wales fans. Let's get to the Queensland team now. Yes, the mighty Queensland team. Are they about to go berserk? Reece Walsh at fullback. Xavier Coates, Valentine Holmes. The hammer. Murray Tuolangi. Yes, he gets the nod against Selwyn Cobbo. That was a shock to a lot of people. But if you go back to last Origin, his defence was off the chain. Tommy Dearden gets the number 6 jersey. I think there was no shock there. Even though a lot of people were saying, what about Ezra Mann's grand final? But what about Ezra Mann's second half? Last 20 minutes of the thing as well. So there, Daly Cherry Evans, he keeps getting picked because no one's really slamming the door on him. Sam Walker is trying his best. To tell you what, Sam Walker, he's the next cab of the ranks for mine. In the number 7 jersey, if he can get consistent. Sam Walker, he is the player of the future outside of Tommy Dearden and Ezra Mann. The forward pack is a bit light. Obviously no Tino, no Flegler. Means Cotter comes in to start with Lindsay Collins. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Being 109. For Harry Grant as the start, we know there can be switcheroos at times with that. Jaden Sewer and Jeremiah Nanai continues to get picked. I don't know why, because he doesn't always deliver at that level. But he is there in front of David Fafita, and I think on form David Fafita was the better player. But obviously, some things off the ball David Fafita's not good at, but not as Jeremiah Nanai, so there's got to be more to it. And maybe it was the Titan selection. Patrick Carrington, his deflection from the Roosters. Mo Fotuaika, Jermaine Hopgood, and Selwyn Cobbo on the bench. Yes, Selwyn Cobbo. So they have 2 utilities on the bench. An interesting selection there. So it's the hard one. Two-edged sword here. Do you have 3 forwards or one? That's traditionally what you have, three and a utility. That's generally the way. In this day and age, can you get away with it? Not having that. Yes, interesting here. Felice Kafusi to me, Felice Kafusi is an all day in front of Jeremiah Nanai. And it's just my opinion. I know Jeremiah Nanai is definitely young and's got years and years to go, and that's probably why they're continuing to stick with him, get him to continue to develop. But yes, to me, Felice Kafusi would be in my team all day of the week. Brendan Piakura, good to see him develop and train with the squad, so he gets a little bit of thing. But you would like to have seen Sam Walker in there as well from mine. I would have put Sam Walker in there with Ezra Mann because Cherry Evans cannot go on forever, or can he? So as their shock selections, obviously you could argue that Murray Talagi, did he deserve his spot in front of Sal Combo? I would say not on current form, but on previous experience. He's done it before, so there's no need to. Same with Tommy Dearden in front of Ezra Mann. We could argue Ezra Mann has played better this season. But Tommy Dearden gets the thing, and he has been there before, so understandable. Probably the biggest scratch ahead for mine is Jeremiah Nanai in front of David Fafita, in front of probably Felice Kafusi. To be honest, he's not behind. Even Peter Cora, I could have in front of him. Just not doing it, but in saying that, he can bounce up to Queensland and play better at Queensland, and he's one of those players that might bounce back better, play for Queensland than he does at club football. So we will see if that is the right selection going forward. Pat Carrigan, he'll do his best. They light on props, yes, Flegler and Tino out makes it that is the danger point for Queensland. If Queensland are going to lose this game, it's definitely in the forward pack. And you can argue the forward pack of New South Wales is better overall, better balanced. But then if we go to the bench, that's put a question mark. The balance is, you could argue the balance has gone too far Queensland way. They've gone for 2 backs and 2 forwards, and 4 forwards for New South Wales. So, interesting selection dilemma there. Are the players going to be fit enough to play the 80 minutes? So the Ruben Cotters probably going to be playing 80 minutes or close to it. With only Mo Fotuaika and Jermaine Hopgood, are pretty much both probably going to be playing prop. And how they rotate that is going to be interesting. But no doubt the X factor is Selwyn Cobbo. Where will Selwyn Cobbo play, folks? There's only one question to ask here. Selwyn Cobbo is going to come in play somewhere in the second row, I expect, or even up front, and just be a bar dream. I think that's all they're going to look at. Just let them roam, go around the field, unless there is injury in the outside backs. I think that's how they use Cobbo. I don't think he'll sit there for 80 minutes. I think Cobbo is the X factor. They can do something to win the game. But obviously the question mark with Cobbo, he can drop the ball at times, so can Valentine Holmes, so can Reece Walsh. Can they defend those and still win the game? That is probably the question mark here. Valentine Holmes' defense at times, he could be on and off. There's going to be a question mark how he delivers his game. But I wanted to put it into a few summaries of how this game's going to go. If Nico Hines is the best player on the field, they win. No doubt in my mind. If Nico Hines is the best player on the field, they win. If I was going to put one on Queensland, for me, it's Reece Walsh. If Reece Walsh has out of this world game, they win the game. But other players that, to me, can have an influence on the result to win them the game. Tedesco is one. He is one that can have a result on this game. Stephen Crichton. I think Zach Lomax is potentially could be a game changer. But in the front row, Payne Haas, no doubt about it, he is the man. Spezzolina can pull off something from the bench. And Isaiah, you know what you're going to get there. If you look at Queensland, Ben Hunt's always missed the consistency. Pat Carrigan's going to have a big game, no doubt about it. Cobbo can clearly pull off the big match. But the hammer, yes, the hammer's my other one. The hammer absolutely goes to another level at origin level. Can he burn them again? He could be the difference in the game as well. Anyway, that's my selection of New South Wales and Queensland. This is going to be an interesting game. I'm just not sure the bench is right for either side, to be honest. I think just looking at it, I think Cobbo had to either start or not be in the team. But he could be the one that wins the game as well. So we will see if Billy Slater is genius on that side. But I think definitely for New South Wales, they are one back short on the bench. No doubt about it in my mind. But we will see if they make a late change for that. But anyway, that is New South Wales versus Origin, Queensland selection. If I'm going to put it down to one, it's going to be interesting because Queensland don't normally do good in the wet, if it's going to be a wet night. I still think they have the better balanced team, but the wet conditions with the forward pack could be the winning strike there. But I'll still go Queensland by 6. Anyway, that's the Barry Charles Footy Show. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back for another video soon.